Hello friends, I'm here today to share with you a little bit about my experience at Book Bonanza this past weekend and then my haul. Original plan was to vlog, but in order to do that you actually have to film something, so that didn't happen. So I've heard a lot of stories, like today is Monday when I'm filming this, and I've already heard a lot of stories about stuff that happened this past weekend, and I didn't see any of that. I saw the craziness of the line, the wristband lines. We're not even going to call it a line. We're going to do heavy air quotes there. But I never saw anybody. I've heard about stealing. I've heard about, apparently there was the pushing of a pregnant woman. Seemed a little feral. And yeah. I thankfully did not see any of that. Everybody that I talked to in line was super sweet, and we just chatted about the books and the authors that we were in line for. So yeah, I don't know. There was craziness apparently, and thankfully I didn't experience any of it. So we got there Thursday. My sister and I both had to work part of the day. And then we made our way to Grapevine to the Gaylord Texan. I want to say it was around like 6 o'clock by the time we got there. And so I checked us into the hotel, and we were literally as far away from the signing room as you can get. Like we were so close to the parking lot, but not even in a good way, because there was no way to get from the end of the hotel room, like the end of the hotel hall that we were in, to the parking garage. So like even like on the day we came home, we had to go back to the like elevators and then down and then back out the way we came, and it was nothing about our room seemed to work out in our favor. But yeah, we got checked in, we got all of our stuff taken up to the room, and then we went down to go ahead and do registration for the signing. And that was pretty seamless. I think we missed most of the crowd. I think there was like one person in front of me by the time I walked up to the table. So yeah, we got our registration done and got our swag bags. I didn't bring the bag over to show you. I'll put a picture up of the bag. I think I brought all the stuff that was in the bag to show you in the haul part. But yeah, we got our registration bags. We looked through those. And then we stopped at the, I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like a little like sports bar grill type restaurant in the Gaylord. And so we ate there for dinner, and then went back to our room to prepare for this wristband situation Friday morning, which, oh my goodness, if you were there, you know, I don't even have words to describe the chaos of the wristband situation. I don't have words. So the wristband line was supposed to open at 7, and then the doors would open to go into the signing room to get the wristbands at 8. So my sister and I woke up at 6:15 and like brushed our teeth, and I put on pants because I sleep in shorts, and we went down and to see what the line situation was. We were there either right at 7 or maybe a couple minutes before, and it was chaotic. Total chaos. There was no line. People were just kind of pushing towards the door, and then a volunteer came around and made a little zigzaggy line across the whole lobby, as much of the lobby as I could see anyway. I don't know if it was the whole lobby. So she got us all into a zigzaggy line, and then made an announcement that the doors on this end were going to be the ones that opened, but the line was coming, this end was going to open, but the line on this end was going to go around first and go in. Okay, great, that's a plan. Sounds perfect. So it was at this point that I made my Instagram story about just because something doesn't work out the way you want it to doesn't mean that it's the wrong way to do anything. Because people were just complaining about like being so far this way when the line was gonna, like, the beginning of the line was gonna be this way, and Had that been the plan, had what that volunteer told us been what actually happened, I wouldn't have had an issue. But we were told this door's going to open, the line starts here, you're going to go around and go in. But then this door opened, and a door down this end opened, and it was just kind of like a mad rush for either way you could get in. If you're gonna set a plan, stick with the plan. That's my issue with the wristband line, is that it was chaotic, and somebody set a plan and then didn't make people follow it. What's the point of having a plan then? And also, like, this is not your first time. This is not the first Book Bonanza. This was the fourth Book Bonanza. Yeah, I think it's the fourth Book Bonanza. You know, even when you tell people not to line up before 7 o'clock, that there's going to be people down there ready to go at 7 o'clock. So why was a volunteer not there? I know it's early, but like, you're making us get up early. So why was somebody not there to control the chaos from the beginning? So my sister and I finally got in. I took off running for a Tilly Cole wristband. And then we just kind of like made our way around the room. I didn't really have like a route that I was taking before that's worked for me. It did not work for me this time. There were several authors that by the time, it's like Tilly Cole was on this end of the room. So I went in the door down here and had to run around to get to this side of the room. But then there were several authors on this side of the room that were out of wristbands by the time I got there. So yeah, the whole wristband situation I didn't like. My original issue with it was that it was so early, but I don't think that this plan worked. I don't think this plan worked at all. I think there was too much left up to chance, left up to like not really having a plan for said wristband line or wristband distribution. I didn't like I don't think this plan worked. I don't think doing it this way worked. I think if nothing else, we need to go back to only handing out wristbands, like to start with the same, like starting wristband distribution at the same time as the signing starts, because it was nuts. It was nuts, and I haven't heard anybody, I don't think, had a good experience. So after the nonsense with the wristbands, my sister and I went back to our room and we got ready for the day. And then at 9:30 was the opening welcome panel. It wasn't really a panel. It was mostly just an interview for the Today Show that they just happened to like let us be the live audience for. And then at 10:30 we tried to go to the dark romance panel, but we were turned away at the door because the room was full. So we went to the like half price bookstore that was there on site. And both of us bought a couple books. Made sure we were there a little ahead of time for the 11:30 Mafia Romance panel, and that was really good. I picked up a couple of new authors that I want to try from there. And Book Bonanza, part of your ticket is a like sack lunch Friday and Saturday. So we went and picked up those. It was a sandwich, a bag of chips, and a cookie. They were all right. We went back to our room to eat though. We didn't stay down. They have like a dining area where you can like with tables and stuff where you can sit. But we didn't do that. We just went back to our room. And then the signing starts at 2. It was, I want to say like 1:40, 1:45-ish. We made our way down to the vendor area. We did not wait in the long line that stretched all the way from the convention center through to the lobby area. Yeah, we did not wait in that line. We went into the vendor area and looked around there and hung out until the line made its way in. I think it was about 25 minutes or so after the signing started before we got into the signing room, and I knew none of my wristband numbers would have been called yet, so we started making our way down to different authors, like new to us authors or authors with a little bit lower lines, that kind of thing. And that's really where we focused our first day. I kept trying to I had number 78 for Tilly Cole wristbands, and I kept trying to go get in line once it finally hit the number on the first day, and I was turned away twice the first day. Told that the line was going to cut off for a little bit until it went down, but like if I sat there waiting, I was going to be wasting time with other authors. So like I had to make that choice, and it sucked because that was one of my like really special people that I wanted to meet on the first day, and I didn't get to. But yeah, that's another thing with the wristbands. I don't understand what the point of having it is if you're going to cut off the line. Like, why would you open it up so much at one time if when you open it you cut off people from getting in the line? That doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I know that it wasn't I know that the volunteer that was running the line was doing what she was told to do. So I never yelled at her. I thought it in my head a little bit that it was super stupid what was happening, but I never yelled at her. So if I counted correctly, I ended up with 38 authors the first day. Yeah, and then I didn't pick up, I think the only pre-order I picked up was the Adriana Herrera pre-order on the first day. I think the rest of them, everything else I picked up the second day. So yeah, the second day we woke up, thankfully not as early. At 9:30 we went to the sports romance panel, which was much better of a sports romance panel than it was last year. And then at 10:30 we were going to go to the Laugh Out Loud panel, but by the time we figured out where that room was, the line was super long, and it did not look like we were going to make much progress getting into it. So instead of the Laugh Out Loud panel, we went to the Read 'em and Weep panel. And then there were some 11:30 panels, but none of them really were interesting sounding to us. So we were originally going to hang out and wait until the lunchroom opened and then grab our sandwiches and go back like we did before. But I forget what happened. We were like waiting outside the room and then decided to go back to our room and use our sandwich stuff that we brought. And then we went down for the signing again. And again, we did not wait in the long line. We waited outside, kind of between the vendor area and where the like main door was. And I think it was a little bit longer this time before we got in. I would want to say like over 30 minutes. And I was again, at the beginning of the day, cut off from getting into Tilly Cole's line because it was too long. And so again, I don't understand the point of the wristband in this situation. I don't understand why they opened up the wristband so much to so many numbers if they were going to cut people off from getting in line. So Saturday signing was a lot of our wristbanded authors. I was able to pick up all of my pre-orders. There were two, Anna Huang and Catherine Cowles. I didn't wait in the line for. I just asked if I could pick up my pre-orders. The Anna Huang one was signed already. They had like a whole separate line for people who just wanted to pick up pre-orders because she didn't think she could like handle them passing out any more wristbands. So she like pre-signed, I think in between days, she like pre-signed all of our pre-orders and stuff in case we just wanted to pick those up. And then the whole like side of the room where Catherine Cowles was at, she was like on the side where like Ruby Dixon was, that whole side of the room was nuts. It was like absolute bonkers. People were like so close together. I could like, my sister and I both couldn't stand it on that side. So after I finished at Samantha Young's table, it was kind of there close to it. I just asked, could I pick up my Catherine Cowles pre-order? If it wasn't signed, that was fine. I just didn't, like, I could not wait in that line. So yeah, I was able to pick up that one. The volunteer was very nice and had Catherine like sign it real fast for me. And I finished like as soon as we got done. That was probably like an hour and a half left of the signing. I went and I like got in Tilly Cole's line. I was not gonna let this volunteer turn me away at this point. And like the line moved really fast. I don't know if it hadn't been moving that fast or whatever, but like I said, I think I got in there about an hour and a half left and spent maybe 35-40 minutes in the line. Like it moved really fast for how long it said, like how long that I had to wait to get in it, because they said that it wasn't moving very fast. But yeah, I finished up my Tilly Cole like books. I got those signed, took pictures, and then the only other author, there was, well, no, not the only other author, but there were a couple of other authors that I brought books for that I wanted to see, but their lines were pretty long, and so made the decision to wait in the Lauren Asher line, since that was an author that I've never met before, and some of the other ones I have met before. I was lucky enough to meet Sophie Lark before. I was lucky enough to meet Devney Perry before. So I decided to wait in Lauren Asher's line because I don't know when I'm going to be able to meet her again. And then after I got done in Lauren Asher's line, it was probably about 10 minutes until the signing closed. So I went over to Katharina Mora's table, and I was just going to ask the volunteer if I could get book 2 in her Windsor series, because I already had book 1 from my reading blog, and then book 3 was in our swag bags. But they were actually in the process of making a line to move her table outside after the signing was over with, because she was going to stay and finish up everybody that wanted to see her. So I just like jumped into that line and waited outside for them to move all of her books and like her little table area and everything outside. So I was able to buy book 2 and get all of 3 of my books signed from her. Overall, I had a good weekend, even though things didn't work out. Oh, there was just I don't even want to say things didn't work out, because I did ultimately get to meet those authors that I wanted to meet, but like, it was just really frustrating in the moment having to deal with that, and then hearing stories about people who weren't being as nice as I was trying to be, who were just doing whatever they wanted to do and kind of getting away with it seemed like. So that, like, it was just really frustrating to deal with. But I did have a good time with my sister. I had a good time seeing friends. I wish I'd gotten to spend a lot more time with the friends that I saw there. So let's do a quick haul. Didn't bring the bag over here with me, but there were 2 shirts in our swag bags. This pink one is a mess because I have worn it. I wore it home yesterday and it needs to be washed now. So the first one is this pink one. It's a v-neck. My sister and I were both super impressed with the size of the shirts, and how they are definitely a looser fit. But yeah, it's just a little bee unicorn. And then the sponsors and stuff listed on the back. And then one that I could not believe I saw people wearing this. There was also a long sleeve in the bag. And this one is a little unicorn reading a book. And again, the sponsors on the back. Most of the rest of my swag got put into this bag to make its way home. So I'm going to go over some of the bigger things, I think. In our swag bags was this neck fan. I'm not going to turn it on because it's kind of loud. I actually didn't take this to the signing room with me. But I think on like whenever I get to go on a beach trip again, I think taking this will be really nice to just like sit outside with it on. Also in the bag was the water bottle that they gave us this year, and it's a like actual like stainless steel water bottle. It kept ice very well. Here is my name tag, and some of the ribbons, they fell off after day 1, and so I didn't put any of the ones from day 2 on. I need to do that. And then my lanyard got caught on my cart, so it broke, and so I had to just clip it back in. But yeah, I ended up with a lot more ribbons, lots of stickers. This charging cable was in our bag. More ribbons. I don't know. I don't remember what all was in it. I don't know why I can't find it. I think there was a bottle opener. There was a little kind of like a water cup, I would call it. Mostly I was just amazed at the neck fan and the 2 t-shirts. I think those kind of blew my mind a little bit because those were we've never gotten 2 t-shirts before, so that one was really cool to just get 2. And then I think the neck fan was a really great idea for how hot it was this past weekend, so yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get into the good part of the haul, the books. It was kind of crazy to get them all home, so they're not really in any type of order now. So I may go through them hopefully kind of quick. So while I was there, I bought Until I Get You. Yeah, Until I Get You by Claire Contreras. It also came with a Lila Junco Dark Romance card. I picked up 2 books from C.D. Reese. We saw her in the Mafia panel. One I picked up is Crown Jewel, which is I don't know if she's an actual princess or if she's just like the princess of a company and a bodyguard. And then Fake Crown, I believe, is a like fake dating in the music industry. I don't know. We met C.D. Reese, or like I said, we saw her at the Mafia Romance panel, and then she was super fun in that. So when we met her at her table, I wanted to pick up something. I picked up a bundle from Rebecca Genshak. I guess I could actually show it to you. I don't know what the series is called, if it's just her Wildcat series or her Wild series or whatever. I think book 1 is Wildcat, book 2 is Wild About You, and book 3 is Wild Ever After. I believe these are new adult college. I believe these are new adult hockey romances. I got 2 Catherine Amara books. The Unwanted Marriage was in our swag bags, and then I got The Temporary Wife, and the only copies she had of this were the gold foiled signing editions, so I'm just gonna have randomly book 2 as a gold foil. Part of my Kat Singleton pre-order was Rewrite Our Story, this beautiful cover. It's a second chance small town romance. And then my Catherine Cowles pre-order was Echoes of You. And like I said, the volunteer was super sweet and asked Catherine to sign it for me quickly. Part of my Jiffy Kate pre-order was The Brick Wall and the Bombshell. This is the book for the newest one in their New Orleans Revelers baseball series. One I picked up in the bookstore was Mountain Made of Glass, a fairy tale retelling by Scarlett St. Clair. I read the first one in her Hades Persephone's series and just didn't feel the need to continue on, so I'm interested to see what's going on with this one. I pre-ordered these 2 historicals from Adriana Herrera. The first one I've already read, A Caribbean Heiress in Paris. I absolutely adored this book. And I saw that book 2, An Island Princess Starts a Scandal, was on her pre-order. I knew that I had to have it. I have The Paid Bridesmaid by Soraya Wilson. This one was a free book that she was offering at her table. So when we went to go have her sign our autograph books, she asked, did we want a copy of this? It was a free book, so yes. On our way down to the closing party, there were tables set up with arcs of None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Upon further investigation, this sounds like a mystery, maybe a little bit of a thriller, about a podcaster, so I don't know about this one. This one may be a, here mom, take this. I also picked up Frost by Liza James. It says a Twisted Tales novel. This one was a total cover pickup, but it sounds kind of like a Frozen Ice Queen retelling. My best friend's mother-in-law is super obsessed with Jodi Ellen Malpa's books, and so I've also seen the Brit around a little bit, and it sounds kind of like an organized crime type book, which I loved Lord of London Town, which had that same vibe, so I'm hoping that will at least give me similar vibes. Also in my Kat Singleton pre-order, at Denver I bought book 1 in her mixtape series, and so I pre-ordered books 2, 3, and 4 because I want to do a series reading vlog on them. The Pawn by Skye Warren was in our swag bags. At the bookstore, I bought His Perfect Partner by Priscilla Oliveris. This sounds like a single dad and his daughter's dance teacher. Also in my Adriana Herrera pre-order was On the Hustle. This is book 2 in, I think it's called the Dallas Lovers series or something like that. I read book 1 and really enjoyed it, so I couldn't blah. So I couldn't wait to get to book 2. The books that I've read from Jiffy Kate have all been in series so far, and so when I went to go do my pre-order, I saw that they had this like special edition. I don't know if it was for signings or if it was released wide, but it's a bind-up of their 3 standalones, and so I loved this black and white cover, and so I definitely wanted to make sure that I picked this up. Like I mentioned in my recap, I had an Anna Huang pre-order that I just picked up. I unfortunately didn't get to meet her, but I pre-ordered the 3 books that were out at the time of my pre-order. I think there's another one that's come out since then, but I needed to finish my Twisted series, so I bought Twisted Lies, and then books 1 and 2 in the Kings of Sin series, book 1, King of Wrath, and book 2, King of Pride. When I went to go do my Samantha Young pre-order, I realized that I didn't ever complete my Adair series. I don't know how. I just like completely missed 2 books and went on to the like spin-off series. So I pre-ordered Be With Me and Only Me because I don't know how I missed these as part of the series. The very first author that we met was Amy Briggs, and while she and I were chatting, I picked up this book called Fired Up, and it's a female firefighter because Amy Briggs said that she had been a firefighter, and so I told her that I had just been at home for surgery and had like watched all the way through Chicago Fire, and she was like, yes, it's that kind of vibe. So I'm a sucker, and I bought it. And then I pre-ordered this series from Fiona Cole. I don't know what the series is called. I had seen it, I want to say, was it Wanderlust she was at? I don't know. I had seen it at a different signing and didn't like pick it up then, and it had been on my mind. So when I saw it on her pre-order this time, I went ahead and did it. But it is Blame It on the Champagne, Blame It on the Tequila, and Blame It on the Vodka. That might not be the right order. Last year at Book Bonanza, I bought book 1 in this series from Dorinda Jones. So this year I bought book 2, A Good Day for Chardonnay. And then this author I met in Denver, and I really enjoyed chatting with her. So when I saw that she was there again, and I didn't buy this book in Denver because I was worried about getting books home at that point. But when I saw it this time, I knew I had to pick it up, and that is Code of Ethics by April White. This sounds like a female bodyguard, and April White is super fun to talk to. If you ever get the chance to see her at a signing, I highly recommend. So yeah, that is my Book Bonanza experience and haul. It was a good weekend. It was. There were just certain things that were really frustrating, especially like hearing stories about how people were acting afterwards, and then you get people who were respecting the rules and not being complete dicks, and things maybe didn't work out for them the way that you hope they would. But yeah, it was a good weekend. Next year we realized when they said the dates for next year at the closing party, it's gonna be my sister's birthday weekend, so I do think we're gonna try to go again. The ticket situation though, who knows what that's gonna be like this year, so we'll see. We'll see. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the couple of people who came up and said that they watched my videos. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Sorry guys. But thank you for saying hi. That's it until the next signing, which I need to be making a decision on here pretty soon. But yeah, once I know that, I'll let y'all know that to see what we can prepare for. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.